Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a follow-up video to a video that I made earlier this summer with regards to the Palmetto PX9. If you guys recall, at around 1,500 rounds, I had some issues with the extractor claw breaking, and then I looked at it again at about 3,000 rounds. I was starting to see some wear on the bolt, and I never quite got back to you guys with regards to the outcome of that. What I did is I had sent an email to Palmetto explaining my problem, and they initially they had sent me an email back asking for some information, and they were telling me that they wanted me to send the gun into them, and I didn't like that idea at all. I mean, all I needed was an extractor claw, maybe a bolt replacement, and I'm a full-time firearms instructor. I mean, here I am, running all over the Northeast training people. I don't have time to be sending a gun in and waiting 12 weeks for it to come back to me, for the parts that I need, when I can fix it myself if I have the parts. So what I did do is I used a back channel, a Facebook back channel, to try to get the parts I needed, which I did get. Okay, I got some extractors, I got some firing pins that were sent to me, but I didn't want to talk about that at the time because, again, I was using a back channel that may not be available to everyone, and at that point I was, I was a little bit nervous with regards to the customer service. Not that I thought, not that I thought it was bad. I understood completely that, hey, I mean, 2020 is a crazy year. Palmetto's been getting orders like crazy. I've been ordering guns from, like crazy, trying to, satisfy the needs of all my customers. So I can understand that they were backed up and, they couldn't quite get to it. But like I said, I'm doing a follow-up video because just yesterday I got this box in the mail, and in this box, okay, what do we have here? They sent me 5 extractors. They sent me 3 firing pins. They sent me 2 slide stops, and they sent me a whole new bolt, which makes me really happy, which makes me have a lot of confidence in Palmetto. And again, and the reason is because this seems like it came through their normal customer service, as opposed to the back channel that I used to originally get the parts that I need to get the gun running. But these are great guns, and I feel that much better now that I saw this come in, and and that this came in through the normal customer service. Without intending to, I end up being a salesman for different gun companies, depending on what guns I prefer to use. Okay, because when I train people, they see what guns I'm using, and those are the guns that they want to buy. Just to give you an example, I was using a Walther gun for a while, and then when that gun broke, I had a terrible time dealing with the Walther customer service, and I gave them every chance to, correct the problem, and I just ended up getting disgusted. I stopped using the gun because I didn't want people to see the gun and end up buying the gun themselves and having similar problems. I ended up basically selling the gun because I didn't want to deal with that anymore. I feel really good now that I got the parts that I needed for these guns through the regular customer service. Didn't cost me anything, and the reason why these PX9s, right, which are 9mm rifles, they're really important for my training style, because what happens a lot of times, when I get a call from somebody to go meet them at a different range or whatever on a different property and train them, in many cases they have either already bought a 9mm pistol, or they're planning to buy one, or they have it in their mind, or that's what the gun store's trying to sell them. The idea of buying an actual AR-15 to people that don't know anything about guns seems a little bit overwhelming, seems a little bit like overkill. So it's really hard for me to come into a situation with somebody that's never shot a gun before and say, hey, you need an AR-15. So what happens is like I said, they either already own a 9mm pistol, or they're got in the mind that they're gonna buy it. So I will show up with let's say a Glock, right? Or some other, usually it's a Glock just because it's so durable, right? Or if they've already bought one, I'll show up, we're using my ammo, we're using their ammo that they have, which is 9mm. So I start training them, and at some point I will pull out one of these guns, and I say, okay, great, let's try this gun. This is also 9mm. It's shooting the same ammunition that you have over here that we've been working with. And then they'll start using these guns, and they will see how much better they are with a rifle, both at close distance and at further distances, okay? So even at like your typical self-defense distance inside your home, let's say at whatever, at 30 feet or 20 feet, they are better with the rifle. They're faster. They're able to come up, get that on target, and that's when the training really begins. And I explain to them that the rifle, the fighting rifle, is the primary gun, and the pistol is a backup gun, or in an everyday carry situation, your carry gun is what you use to fight your way to your house to get your rifle, and that's how I introduce, I kind of point them in the right direction. And some people, they will, some people like these PX9 so much that they'll end up buying these. Other people will make the jump to an actual AR-15, but in any case, I'm able to move them in the right direction, and that's why these guns are so important. It's kind of like a gateway rifle, for those instances where it's really hard for me to get them to make the jump to an AR-15, and like I said, a lot of times people already have bought the pistol. They have the ammunition for that 9mm ammunition, so it's a lot easier to pull out a gun that shoots 9mm. That's going to be able to demonstrate to them really easy why an AR-15 is better. And a lot of people just end up really comfortable with this. They like the idea of having both a rifle and a pistol that shoots the same ammunition. They end up buying this, a gun like this, or they end up buying this and an actual AR-15. Hey, it's all good. I don't have a problem with that. It's bringing them into the gun community. It's giving them a place to start. So that's why I'm really happy that the customer service ended up being good, because I don't like using guns if I don't have confidence in the customer service, and I'll have a lot more confidence in that customer service. In case you guys are wondering, what I have here is this is the PX9 16-inch rifle. This usually I end up training the guys with this, the men. With the women, the 16-inch barrel ends up being a little too front heavy, so I use the 8-inch barrel, right? Because that's a lot less front heavy, and they really love this gun. This is a favorite among women. I did end up putting this extension over here because I was afraid that the hand was going to slide forward, so this is kind of like a little safety feature. I mean, they like the look, people like the look of it, but I was just more concerned about the hand sliding forward a little bit on the short 8-inch barrel. And this doesn't add much weight. This is pretty light. It's aluminum, so this worked out great. The other thing I did with this is I had to add some. This is the SB3 brace. I had to put some rubber in here and tie it together because this was collapsing a bit. But ever since I did this is now pretty solid. People can shoulder this thing properly and shoot this the way they're supposed to shoot this. So at one point this summer, these two guns over here were doing almost 1,000 rounds a week. So they definitely they did their work. And what I did is I bought this gun. This gun has a 10-inch barrel, so it's kind of like somewhere in between those two. And I bought this as a backup. Okay, so if either one of those guns goes down and I can't quickly change out the bolt or make a quick repair, I'll just have this one ready to go, because this one is long enough that both men or women can shoot it. Only other problem that I've had beyond that is the trigger groups, because these have AR-15 trigger groups, right? AR trigger groups are only usually good for somewhere between 5 and 10,000 rounds, and both of these guns are well past 10,000 rounds. I think on the first one over here, I broke the hammer pin. The pin broke from all that vibration, and on the second one over here, the hammer spring broke. I didn't bother to call up Palmetto about that. I just pulled the parts out of my inventory and just quickly replaced it myself. But that would also be covered under the warranty. Hey, I'm really happy with these guns. Really happy with Palmetto. I bought, aside from these guns, I've bought other guns from them. The next gun that I want to get is the dagger, the PSA 9 dagger that I've been waiting all year for. I gotta tell you, as a result, I built 3 P80s, okay? Because you know, I wish if that dagger had come out earlier in the year, I probably just would have bought 3 of those. But at this point, you know, they've released it, but it seems like it's always sold out. So as soon as that becomes available, I'm gonna get a dagger, and I look forward. You know, once I get that, that's gonna kind of replace my Glock or my P80s for a while. I'm just gonna run that. And see how well that does, and report it to you guys. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it. If you're not a member of the channel, please subscribe. See you guys next time.